What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Backstage Pass, and today's Backstage Pass by request is going to be all about questions and answers. So I'm going to do a full Q&A. I've been getting hit up by a lot of people all around the United States, in fact all around the world, asking me certain questions. So I have conceded, and I am proud to do my first questions and answers Backstage Pass. Darling.
Oh, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi.
Monday. What up, girl?
Hi, how's it going?
It's hilarious. The amount of video we shoot in this office, and she still gets the giggles on camera.
Just can't do it.
All right. Well, you're awesome anyway.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, it's off.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's off.
Okay, I don't know why I get the giggles. It's not off. I know it's not. Hi.
Good talk.
Good talk.
Good talk. All right, so seeing as I've got you with me right now, I don't know if I've ever done a walk through PLG. I think I probably have, but I'm going to do it again from the dark end of the corridor. So we have a vintage, this is title office here, the lights are off, and we have a beautiful old steam train, and as I walk through, I just love the design. I think we've probably got fabulous Dan to our left. Nope, Dan's not there. And then I'm going to take you into our fab kitchen and do a twirl. And then I carry on. It's Monday, so everybody's out in the field today, because Mondays are the busiest day in real estate. I come through this fab bay of computers and into our stellar conference room, which is my favorite area of PLG other than the wallpaper. The what? The wallpaper. That. And then I almost forgot, you need to see my office, which is a bit messy. Love this spot. Give us a twirl. Here's a twirl of the office. And once again, what's my favorite part of it? I just love this wallpaper. I'm just gonna download the questions that I have for the Q&A. Okay, ooh, that's a good one. Great question, JC. Fabulous question, Joanne. Okay, we got a whole gang load here. All right, so let me compile all of these, and then what I'd like to do is drop myself into the studio as something like this. Right. Okie dokie. So let's get into the first episode ever, the inaugural episode of, if that's what inaugural means, I'm not 100% sure. Does inaugural mean the second or the first? Anyway, everything's going off. It's all going off. Anyway, I don't know if it means the first or the second. Regardless, in this case, it means the first episode of Backstage Pass Q&A. So I'm just gonna leap straight into it with my absolutely gigante iPad, which I absolutely love. This is the iPad Pro. Whole other story and whole other Backstage Pass. If you want to watch movies, oh my God, this is the device. It's a little bit big for daily use to kind of carry, schlep around, but for using it here, for using it in the office in Beverly Hills, for watching movies on it, fantastic. I love the fact that it's the same size as a sheet of paper. So it feels like my digital sheet of paper, which is something that I fantasized about from being yay high, but that's a whole other Backstage Pass. Back to the questions and answers. Let's get started. Okay, so Philip B out of Ontario, Canada says, where do you shoot that has the PLG logo behind you? Okay, So what I am sitting in right now is my studio in a place in Los Angeles called Studio City, ironically. But Studio City is where all the old movie studios were first kind of built nearly 100 years ago. Right around the corner, you've got CBS TV, where they've filmed a bazillion shows that you would all know. Down the street, you've got NBC TV, and then you've got Universal Studios about a mile away from here. And then, of course, you have the famed Warner Brothers film studio, which is literally just a couple of miles that way. Studio City is nestled at the foot of the Hollywood Hills on the valley side. Okay, thank you very much for your question. Question number 2. Question number 2, numero dos. This comes from Nancy out Marina del Rey. Blah, 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 blah. What is your favorite system to vlog on? I mean, that is a fair question because God knows I've done vlogs on how to vlog on a GoPro, how to vlog on an iPhone, how to vlog on a DSLR. Okay, the rig that I'm using, which was actually my last vlog, this is my, oh my God, coming to Jesus system, which has taken me many combinations to find, but it is the Sony A6300, or I would now buy the A6500 because it has in-body stabilization, with the Sony 10 to 18 f4 lens, OSS, because that's got stabilization in it, which is really, really important. So, Nancy, thank you very, very much for your question. I hope that answers it. Okay, question number 3. Numero tres. So this comes from Mikey NYC 1984, and his question is Snapchat dead? Okay. No, Snapchat is most certainly not dead. I went through at the end of last year, I was like Snapchat bonkers, and then I found myself, once Instagram stories came out, which I know a lot of people went through the same thing, I found myself going, wow, why do I need Snapchat anymore? The social media platforms have been around 10 years, give or take, right? And then when I was an early adopter, when I jumped onto Facebook, I also jumped onto Twitter, and I also jumped onto Instagram, and I also jumped onto Snapchat, and I also jumped onto all those other ones that I've now forgotten in the middle. What I think what we're witnessing now, which I think is a very healthy thing, is a fracturing of the platforms where people will focus in on one of them as their favorite, and then they'll kind of dabble in the others. Before, I used to see the same stories on all of the platforms, but now I'm seeing people focusing on one particular platform. It might be Snapchat, it might be Instagram stories, it might be Facebook, it might be whatever you want. And then they dabble in the others, which I think is brilliant. And the reason for this is because we just don't have enough time to be masters of all the platforms. So what I would say to you guys out there is Snapchat dead? No, it is most certainly is not dead. Where we are at with social media is pick your poison, try and become the master of that platform. If you get better results from Instagram stories, or you get better results from Instagram, really double, triple down on Instagram. If you get better results from Snapchat, really double, triple, quadruple down on Snapchat, and maybe don't do as much Instagram. Because whatever is giving you the most reaction is what I suggest that you focus in on, because it looks and sounds like that your core audience is on the particular platform that you're getting the most response from. Make sense? Thanks for your question. Next question is from my mates down under. This is Team McWilliam in Australia. G'day, how you doing? They have 2 questions because they're so far away. They have 2 questions and I'm going to allow it. Question number 1 is dead easy. What software do you edit on? Well, I used to edit on iMovie, which I think is perfectly sufficient. Then I found myself wanting to do some more complex edits. Not ridiculously complex, but I just wanted to take it to the next level. So the logical jump for me was to go to Final Cut Pro 10. In the middle of that, I did try Adobe Premiere and I just didn't have the patience for it. iMovie is kind of like the little brother to Final Cut. So if you're really good at iMovie, I would recommend that you go to Final Cut 10. All right, makes sense? Second question from my mates in Australia. When attracting agents, what's most important? Statistics, deals done, or cultural similarity? And do you recruit? Well, the truth of the matter is with PLG, we have not really recruited at all. Everybody who has joined us through attraction. There's been two or three or four, maybe less than one hand of people that I have strategically gone out and said, I really like you and I really want you to become a part of the PLG company and culture. But everybody else has joined through attraction, not promotion. So essentially, no, we don't really recruit. What we do is we make sure that we push our message out on social media so that everybody and their mother knows exactly who we are and what we're about. And that seems to have garnered the right kind of talent that us as a company wanted to get. So when I'm sitting with an agent, is it statistics or is it cultural similarity? It's neither. What I look for when I'm sitting in front of an agent is this. I can look into the whites of their eyes and within 2 seconds, I can know whether or not they're going to be a good agent, but more importantly, a good cultural fit. The family that we have created at PLG, is that going to be disrupted? And I've learned through trial and error, because I hired a few people over the years that had really good numbers, but then they ended up kind of being divas, and that really disrupts and can sometimes poison the pool of really good people you have. So I had to let those people go. So for me, if I see that somebody really buys into the culture, and whether or not they are culturally similar at this moment is less important as to are they open and do they want our culture. Because my philosophy is the same as Richard Branson's, which is find really good people, hire really good people, and then figure out what the best course of action is for them. What I see my competitors do and other companies do is they hire people and then try and squeeze them into their mold. So everybody looks the same. Everybody's very cookie cutter. You can't tell one agent from another from these big box companies. Whereas what we are is we are a collection of massively individual people, and I applaud, encourage, and nurture the individuality and the individual branding of said agents. That was a very long answer, but you are such supporters of what we do here. Team McWilliam, you are welcome. Okay. I got one more question, and then I'm going to kind of hold it there, I think. Jeremy K69 asks, is it beneficial to hire a real estate coach to help you reach goals? Now, I have been in the real estate industry for going on 14, 15 years. I did not have a coach for the first 10. I did have a coach in the very beginning and they sucked, so I fired them. Just so happens that it was one of the biggest coaches in the US and I had no idea. And then for 10 years or 11 years, I merrily went on my way, fueled by ambition and, passion and optimism and blah, blah, blah. And I did really well. And then a friend of mine who is a very successful agent here in LA says, you need to meet this guy called Steve Shull, who I met him and I never thought that I would ever have any kind of symbiotic relationship with him whatsoever, because he's, he's much more conservative than I am. But what I found is he's an pro football player that used to play for the Miami Dolphins. And the blend of my kind of anarchic, kind of go-getter, super optimism, techie nerddom blended with his much more kind of like coaching a football team has really worked, and we really complement each other. So what has my coach brought to me? He hasn't brought to me plans, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do X, Y, and Z. But what he has brought to me is this. When I'm at a crossroads and I want to run at 2,000 miles an hour down one of these directions, He is the hand on my back saying, hey, go for it. And that's all I need. When I met my coach, we had a small office that was, 2,000 feet and maybe 30, 35 agents. And I met Steve and I said I wanted to open up more offices, and he just kind of basically said, hey, what you waiting for? Go for it. So we opened up a 7,000 square foot office in Beverly Hills. Then we've opened one in Los Feliz as well. And now we're opening one in Studio City, and our agent count is over 100. And that's just in about 2.5 years. So a coach will not give you the magic bullet and will not give you the secret formula to success. But what they will do is say, get off your ass, do this, try that. When we're all in those moments of darkness and we're uncertain and insecure, a really good coach will be able to navigate you through that to turn a negative into a positive, which has certainly been my case. Wow, that was a lot of questions. And that, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please, is the end of the first ever inaugural questions and answers for Backstage Pass. I really had a blast doing that. And I feel like we just spat out a whole bunch of, hopefully, useful information to someone. So we will do another Q&A at some point soon. Don't know when, but we'll do another one, I don't know, soon.